Hey friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our half acre homestead. Well, we're having chicken soup for supper, so I'm going to make some noodles. So I'm going to make some egg noodles. I'm actually going to make a whack of egg noodles for the simple reason is I have the eggs, I have the flour, and if I'm going to make noodles, I might as well have some in the freezer for later, right? Okay, this is it. I've got my KitchenAid set with the dough hook. Now listen folks, if you don't have a KitchenAid with a dough hook, mix this by hand and then pound the crap out of your ball of dough with a rolling pin and then fold it over, put it in a bag in the fridge and let it rest for 20 minutes. But we're going to do all that in advance. So I got 2.5, 3 cups of flour here. I'm going to put a well in there. You know what? I should use my tripod, eh? Okay, we're going to make a well in here. So I'm going to add, I don't know, a teaspoon of salt maybe. And I'm going to, in my well, crack in 3 eggs. Have some water handy because you just may want, I actually may want to make more than what I've got here because I have a couple of recipes I can use it in. Always crack your eggs on the counter, folks, not on the rim of your bowl or you're apt to get shells inside your dough. All right, so let's just get this down and set it to stir. I'm just going to let the dough hook do the work, kind of like kneading bread, until everything's together, and then we'll know whether we need to add any water or not. Okay, I'm going to add another egg then. I may have had 4 cups of flour. I don't know. Not that I measured. A great recipe, folks, when you've got a glut of eggs. I'm going to turn it up a little bit and let that dough be pounded about. This is one of those recipes, folks, that the more often you knead it, like pound the crap out of it, then put it to rest in the fridge in a bag and then put it back in. And the more often you can pound it, pound it, rest it, the stringier, not the stringier, but the springier and the more elastic texture your noodle dough will have. All right, I just want to check this. Yeah, we're going to need some water. All right, I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of water and see what that does. We may have to dust it with a bit more flour. Yeah, I put too much water in. All right, more flour. Yeah, now it's too doughy. We'll get there. The beautiful thing about noodle dough, okay, is that until you get the consistency right, you can add or take away water, flour, not take away, but you can add more flour, more water, more egg until you get the consistency you want. That's why I don't measure. I go by consistency. Oh, beautiful. All right. I'm just going to put this in a plastic bag and let it rest in the fridge for 20 minutes. First off, I'm going to do it with the machine, and then I'm going to show you how to do it by hand. Even though my hands are not good with this. I forgot about something. I forgot this. This is not for juice. As you can see, there's no screens on here, and it also blocks the hole where juice would normally come out at the bottom of here. So we put that in there like that. We put our fettuccine on there. And Bob's your uncle. It's all ready to go. Now if I can just, here we go, and lock into place. How simple is that? Now I don't use this necessarily. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flatten this dough out. And I'm just going to take slices of it. I don't have, my last dog, Frankie, You all remember Frankie. Frankie ate my plunger, so that's why I'm feeding it down like this. And I will just every once in a while, I'll just cut off the noodles. All right. We'll be back when this dough is done, and I'm going to be hand cutting some noodles. Now, the reason you don't see me making those noodles with that Omega juicer on the noodle setting is because in the process of putting the noodle dough through the spindle to be pressed out the fettuccine die cut head, the dough gets way too hot with friction, and when it comes out, it's like, ugh, ugh, you can't cut it. It gets all sticky and sticks together. So I'm going to look for my hand crank noodle cutter, and I'll just save my juicer for juicing. So I'm almost done I'm almost done making these noodles, and I'm soon going to be doing the hand noodles. Howard's going to be home soon, so I've got to put a good handful of these into our chicken noodle soup, and you'll see that at the dinner table. Okay. I don't want to fuss with that thing anymore, so I took the dough out of it, and I'm going to hand cut the rest of my noodles. Now, I've been rolling out my dough, and it is not easy, folks. It is not easy getting noodle dough really thin. And I should have, you know what, I should have just got out my noodle cutter. But this is the way to do it. I'm just going to roll it up like this. And it takes some rolling. You can cut these as narrow or as wide as you want. See, it may take some shoulder work. Look, so much less bull crap. It's hard, it's more muscle work. But the dough, your noodles come out so much better. The hardest part is getting the noodles, the dough thin enough. So now I just toss these with some flour like I tried to do with the other ones, but the other ones were too hot. Now I'm probably going to have enough here when I'm done for tomorrow's supper, and then more in the freezer for another day. Look at that. Nothing beats hand-rolled noodles, really, if you think about it. Now, this is one of those times when overworking the dough is not going to be an issue for you. I'm going to put a bag of these in the fridge, and later on this week I will, or maybe even tomorrow, I will do like a Swedish meatball style video, and then I'm going to finish this noodle dough, and then I'm going to put it in the fridge or freezer for another day we have soup. All right? Placemat.
I don't know where a placemat is.
They're in the drawer over there. Whatever. This is for the noodle video I made today. Ooh, nice slurpy noodles.
Awesome.
Awesome. Homemade bread with butter. Homemade chicken soup and homemade noodles. You can't beat it, eh, dear?
No.
This is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying, if you got a couple of backbones from a chicken and some dried vegetables and flour and eggs, you can make bread and soup with homemade noodles, and it becomes a meal. Take care, God bless.